Yeah, let's
take a look around.
Cool. All right, so what do we have here?
So this is what I call the intake pond. This is where all my water from the two main creeks from the spring fed from the side of the mountain actually come into this pond, and it holds the water, and then the water goes into the intake screen, which is in the center, and we'll go look at that, where it goes into the back of the hatchery, and that's where all my water comes from.
Okay.
So right here is like a little dock to come out and take the brush. When the intake screen, it's in like a big triangle. It's aluminum perforated mesh box that Grandpa built, and it goes over a 6-inch pipe which goes underground into the back of the hatchery over there. But yeah, this is where it all starts. This keeps any kind of big debris, crawdads, salamanders, anything unwanted coming into the hatchery, so it kind of filters that. And it does get clogged because there's water coming in here. You can see the water staring around actually in a circle because it's taking in water to the inside. And I have to come out here after a storm, silt will get on it, and clean it with a brush. And it does stir up a little bit inside, but then I clean the inside too. So this is where it all starts, right here. Awesome. The intake pond. I don't have any fish in here. I'll never stock any fish in here. If the fish in here, the reason being, caught anything like a disease or anything, I couldn't treat them in this pond, and all that bacteria or anything coming off of those sick fish would go in and just decimate my healthy fish. And I could treat them in there, but then you're just fighting a battle that just keeps going on. So we'll just keep this with no fish. There wasn't any native fish in these springs years ago or anything like that, so we just keep it that way. But yeah, this is where it all starts. Now we'll go inside and see where it goes.
All right.
So let's go inside and take a look. This is an old aerator that Grandpa had for transport. I kind of put up some of his old shovels and nets I probably won't use, but just kind of decorating Grandpa's old legacy things.
Yeah.
I actually use this crowder string. There's no telling how old it is, but it still works really good. And this is just shorter than the tank walls outside, but it crowds up the fish just fine. Let's go inside and take a look.
All right.
Welcome to the hatchery.
All right.
So, right here is our holding tank. This one is empty right now. I did have it full of the rainbows before they went outside. This one is empty, but I have to keep my water flow going through it. So I have a air regenerative pump that goes into these diffusion stones. Kind of oxygenates the water some before it goes outside. And it goes into that square stone and oxygenates the water before it goes outside in that standpipe. And it goes through the ceiling, and there's the air pump over there. It sucks the air out, pumps it into the stone, and puts oxygen into the water. Alright. And then we'll walk over here. I have some rainbow fry.
Nice.
They're hatched in May.
Hatched in May?
There they are. These guys hatched in May, and they're growing like crazy because the temperatures have been up for a good metabolic growth conversion rate. Feed. And this is what I was talking about when I feed the fish. I don't have the time to be here. I've got them down to 4 times a day. So I can get up and feed at 4 o'clock and be done by 7 when I leave to go to work at 7:30. But when they were on 8 feedings a day, you pull this conveyor belt back, and there's a clock right here that ticks, and it pulls this conveyor belt and drops the feed down out of the bottom right there.
Okay.
But I put the amount of feed I need on that conveyor belt.
I'll be darned.
Pretty neat, huh?
Yeah. Very clever.
But this is where the water comes in. This is what's called like I got it as a filter. This one has these bioballs in them. And biomedia. And that's called a Coke can. Biofilter, like ball. And what happens is when the well water from here comes through, it doesn't have oxygen really in it. It has like nitrogen gas. So groundwater will have that. It's not harmful to humans. It needs to be oxygenated for fish. So it strips that nitrogen out of what's called a pack column here through this pack with all those bioballs or biomedia. It actually oxygenates the water to go in and be healthy for the fish. It takes the gas out.
Okay.
So it's like a degassing column, you would call it. Kind of like over here when my spring comes in. The spring comes in here in the spring box, and I pump it through a sump pump, if you will, and it goes through the pack columns, puts oxygen in the water, and it goes down to the bottom and pumps it through this pump, back up, and I get my gate valves here, which gets my 5 gallons per minute. And these are the trays it goes through. I'll pull one out so you can see. I was hoping to have fish, but my supplier didn't have the eggs ready just yet. So there will be water in here, it'll be filled with water, and this is your stream. This is what actually holds the eggs. And they go in this stream until they hatch out, and they will go down in the tray. And that's secure, and it just pumps through. And I'll set a chicken feeder up here to do the treatment. Yep, that's what they call the heat trays. That's incubator trays that hold eggs.
Okay.
So when they come from over here, they go into over here. This is the trough. They'll be down in this little trough. I actually have some footage of them in the trough. I took with my camera phone, my iPhone. And it'll be going about 7 or 8 gallons per minute, a little bit more than what they had in the incubator trays, whatever they can tolerate without being pressed against the stream. They'll stay in there until they get about that size over there and drop them down. It's a never-ending process and rotation.
I'll be darned.
That's pretty neat. So over here I have feed, and every day I'll take those buckets that I had over there and I'll weigh out my feed right here, the amount that I need for the next day. Following day when I'm done. And when we go outside, that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you some feeding time. I kind of held off this morning. The temperatures are down. It's a cooler day. So you guys can see me feed the fish.
All right.
right now. And that's what the trout feed looks like. They're on smaller feed right now. We're outside now, and I'm going to feed the regular rainbows right now. They're on this side. And what you're seeing, you're probably wondering, what in the world is the frames on top of the trout tanks? Well, that is a good question. That is an 1.5 inch PVC pipe. And I made these frames, and I zip tied on like a snow barrier fence. It keeps leaves out, as you can see over here with the golden trout. And it also keeps the herons out, so I don't have to get a deprivation permit and shoot or kill any herrings. Their wild birds are just looking for food, but if I can prevent it with a alternative, then I can. So far it's worked.
Cool.
They don't wipe out my fish. So all the water comes out here, and this is what you would call a head box. All the water is distributed over the top of these dam boards, and that's where your flow comes from. It's a combined flow from inside and goes through all of my raceways outside. Get like underwater tube this.
Yeah.
may have a customer who might want some fish in the next couple of days out of the brook trout, so I'm not going to feed them for you guys today, but we're going to come down here and look at the brook trout. They are very pretty too, fish. So I have almost 3,000 brook trout here, so the density is a little bit higher, but they're okay. They're probably pushing 4.5, 5 inches at this point. They like trying to swim up in the water column. I had to put a screen on that because they'll swim up to the next tank.
So like the salmon jumping waterfalls.
Yep.
That's really funny.
Brook trout will really do, all trout will do it, but the brook trout really try to get the cleaner water. That's what it is. Like in a storm, they really see them. But you can see now they're trying to get up. They love like waterfalls in the wild. So a brook trout is the closest thing to what they call a speckled trout, which is North Carolina's native species. So native to North Carolina is only the brook trout. So when I see these fishermen on these fishermen pages saying they call it a wild native brown trout, there's no such thing. They've been to Germany then. Or if they've caught a wild rainbow trout native, well then they must have been to California or China, because that's where they came from. The brook trout is the only native species. The golden trout actually is a genetic flaw from a rainbow trout, and what it is rainbow trout were fed or bred over and over in the same, in a sense they're an inbred trout. So they're the same genetics over and over and over. And they noticed in West Virginia, they're native to West Virginia, they saw that they started having golden trout here and there, like with the blue trout that I was talking about earlier. And now they have their own genetic strand and they're golden trout, or albino trout, should I say. It's like an albino. So there's Daniel. That's my stepson. He's helped me with some of the work around here.
Awesome. Hey, Daniel.
Growing up on a trout farm has to be fun, right?
Absolutely.
So we'll flip the screen and we'll let you get some footage.
Cool. So my favorite part about the trout farm is I get to play in the water. I love to play in the water. It's like growing up playing in the creek, except I get to mess with fish up close and personal. Instead of trying to catch them on a hook, I catch them with a net and a crowded screen. So let's go get in some waders and play around. Pretty comfortable. Yep.
Almost uncomfortable. So now I've got my waders checked. Might want to grab a net before we get our crowder screen. We got us a net. That'll be another check off the list. I'll set that right here. Grandpa made this crowder screen years ago. And all it is a wooden frame that's barely smaller than the actual tank walls, the inside of the tank wall, so it fits in. And you just push against the fish as you're going up through there with this, and it crowds them up to where you want them, so you can weigh them out, net them, do whatever you need to with them, like doing my samples and inventory like I was talking about earlier. This is kind of how it's done, minus the actual weighing part today. So we don't have time for that. That's the boring part. So what I'll do right now is get in and flip these screens over, and then I'll start at actually the tail end and push them up. Hopefully we can get a better eye of that blue trout.
Oh yeah.
I actually got this idea from the state hatchery to do these herring screens. They're a pain to deal with sometimes, but well worth protecting investment. And they're easy to move around and maneuver, and they're not really heavy. They're not bad.
I assume you probably just scoot your feet so not to step on a fish, or
Yeah, you want to kind of shuffle foot because you don't want to squash a fish. It's bad for the fish, and it's just an eerie feeling too.
yeah.
I have some grass here where I cut grass the other day. I want to get that out so I can get on your screen. All right, let's grab a crowder screen. You call me the trout whisperer. They're all swimming around me thinking I've got something for them. So we'll grab this here, so it's got handles built on it. The frame. We'll just put it down in the water. And start pushing. Kind of shoveling it across the bottom. You want to be real careful. So we're crowding up a raceway of fish. This is how it's done. When you have bigger fish and they're really pressing against the screen, it takes a lot of leg muscle to push them. Sometimes patience is key. You're not stressing the fish out if you just take your time and figure it out where to go. And it's better for the fish if you're just patient. You can't rush things like this. But my foot is on that bottom board because I don't want to kick against the screen. I'll break her. There's the blue trout right in front of me.
Oh, that's it.
I shouldn't have any fish behind me, actually. I think I have them all. So trout actually have a slime coat. So you want to get your hands wet before you touch them. So I want to try to get that blue trout and handle it. All my hands wet because I don't want to harm that fish.
Hey.
The salt that you I guess like your perspiration. Salt that you naturally have as a human So actually take that slime coat right off of that fish. It's harming any kind of bacteria on your hands or anything like that. I'm hoping I can scoop up that blue trout. It's hard to see in the current here where the oxygen's kind of hitting. And there's some golden rainbows. I'll set them here. You can get a better view. Very pretty.
Yeah.
I don't see the blue trout in there, do you?
Nope.
I'll let that go that side. We'll kind of scoop until we kind of see it. We'll get him a picture. Exactly see it in there either.
No.
Watch this. You might want to slow-mo this. That's a lot of fish. There he is. Yep. So our blue trout is in here. Now, safely, we got to get him out. I don't want to kill my other fish. Just to get the blue. Ah. Where is he?
Oh, is that him?
Yeah, he's there somewhere. Ah, got him. There's the blue trout, guys. He's more gray in the sunlight, like a silver, but he is indeed blue. Watch this.
Nice.
That was neat. These guys are a little sleepy now. They're getting tired. See how stress affects the fish?
Yeah.
Having them out of the water and handling them. They'll be okay. And yep, that's pretty much it, guys. That's having fun in the water or the crowder. You got to see the blue trout. That's kind of proud of that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
If anybody wants to come check us out, tour the hatchery, we are at 1143 Ziegler Road, Brevard, North Carolina. You can give us a call at 828-966-9244. It's High Valley Trout Farm. Ask for Dustin or Louisa Shore. Check us out. Guys, I have some plans today, so that kind of wraps up this video. I'm glad you got to see a glimpse of kind of what goes on with the hatchery. Maybe we could do another video sometime if Bennett's wanting to come back, and we could do the eggs when I get them in. They were supposed to be here this go around. I apologize for that, but we do deal with live animals here. These are live animals. You can't exactly put them on a schedule like you want. You can do the things that you kind of expect out of them, just historically by growth and science and genetics and things like that. But in the end, they are live animals. They're very much alive. They're beautiful. I love being in nature here. I just want to be more environmentally friendly, and doing what I do here as a trout farmer and carrying on a legacy that's been going on since 1967 is big shoes to fill. So I'm going to do the best I can. You guys have a good day.
All right. So you press that top button,
Yeah.
and then when you see the numbers start counting,
Yeah.
all right, you film them, okay?